This is to certify that Movie Chats has been classified for live streaming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for another week on Movie Chats. As you can see, I'm by myself at the moment. I'm just waiting for our guests to arrive. Little Steve has had something to come up and he sends his apologies. If he can come on later, we will do. So I'm hoping you've all had a good week. For those of you that were at the meetup in Manchester at the weekend, it was great to see you again. It was great to meet you all, especially Kathy and Lee. It was nice to see those guys in person. It felt like we knew each other straight away, and it wasn't awkward or anything like that, which is really, really good. So that brings me on to my first order of business. Now, if you are interested in having a meetup, we can do one in January in Chester, I reckon, towards the end of the month. Let's get the Christmas out the way and stuff like that. And I think that'll be really good. So let me know in the chat if you'd be interested in a movie chat stroke reseller meetup in Chester and get to see some faces. So who have we got in this evening? So we've got Kathy in. Hello, Kathy. Evening, Pat. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Sharon. Anthony's in. AMPJ. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you for joining us on a live stream. And that's it for now, guys. So if you would like a it's not a meetup, it's a Christmas party, a delayed Christmas party. That's what we'll call it. A Movie Chats delayed Christmas party. So we'll have a look at it in January and we'll get some dates together, give you time to book hotels and travel lodges and etc. And yeah, we'll have a meet up and everything else. Have I been to Runcorn Car Boot? No, funny enough, I was talking to Lana about going on Sunday. Has it been any good? Yeah. You could always come over, Carl. Somewhere, find somewhere to stay. Come over for the weekend. Come and join us. Come and have a couple of drinks and whatever. Yeah, let me know, Anthony, what Runcorn Car Boot's been like. It's like I say, we were going to go on Saturday. For those that don't know, Runcorn's under cover. It's in like a car park, multi-story car park. So it's not so bad. The wind rattles through it, but yes, 3 levels of cellars. Oh, okay. Definitely worth going to have a look at then. So this week we have got a special guest coming on the show in a couple of minutes. It's Paul, the 4K chef. Now, if you haven't seen any of his stuff, he's like Steve and I. He's got a couple of collections and DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that, and he puts out some really, really good content. So check him out. But like I say, he is coming on later this evening. And we'll have a good chat there. Speaking of the devil, good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Stephen. You all right?
I'm not so bad, sir. Thank you. Little Steve does send us apologies, mate. Something's popped up. So it was me, first of all, saying that I had something and looking at delaying it. And then I sort of find out, and then Steve's had something. So I apologize for we're not always this mad. Don't worry.
It's all right.
For our viewers and subscribers, Paul, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yep, I'm Paul, the 4K chef. I mainly collect 4K movies. I do collect a few Blu-rays. The plan was always to collect 4Ks because it's well, not always, but it's pretty much the best quality you're going to get, and there's less 4Ks than there is Blu-rays, so it'll take me time to create a decent collection, steady Whereas if I collect Blu-rays, I'll probably like run out of space within months. So, but yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook, using obviously the same tag as I'm using, the _4K chef.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So if any of the spanners in the group like to put a link to Paul's channel, then please feel free to do so, and give Paul a subscribe and give him a boost.
Just do like reviews, unboxings. I collect like a lot of boutique, like from overseas, US stuff that we can't get over here, which always attracts me too. So, but yeah.
No, that's good. Hey, Mark, thank you for popping in, mate. Let's not get banned this week, shall we? Coro says Paul does a lovely channel.
All right, Coro.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So what type of films are you into then? What's your genre? What's your go-to?
Like I like horror. I've got me thing top on here.
Mm-hmm.
Just falling to pieces. Horror is like one of my main ones, followed by action, sci-fi. Not really into like dramas as much. Like I don't mind like The Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption, stuff like that. Nothing soppy.
It's a good job, really, because little Steve's favourite film's Mean Girls. So you two might have been off to a bit of a bum steer there. I'm not really a big fan of horror. Well, I say that there is some horrors that I do like and I do enjoy. I think the latest round of horror, you've either got jump scare or you've got slasher movie. There's nothing in between anymore for anyone.
Yeah. I was just chatting, like discussing this earlier, saying like a lot of these directors and stuff years ago, like Argento and Romero and stuff like that, it's like all it's a thing of the past now. I think like the way they made movies. I think the 80s was probably the best one. Well, late 70s, 80s was probably one of the best like eras for like to play around with. You know, like stuff was upcoming and people appreciated going to cinema to see it. And I think obviously they weren't using big budgets like they do nowadays, and special effects they had to just make. Like a lot of people, like the effects, the paint they used and stuff, had issues with after. You know, it's like health and safety wasn't a thing back then. But yeah, I just think like late 70s, 80s is probably like one of the best years for films. I don't think we'll ever get that back.
No. One of the was it the Conjuring one, Annabelle Homecoming or something? Was that the latest one? That to me that was like 15 minutes worth of build up to a jump scare, but it telegraphed a jump scare.
Yeah.
Now I was talking to Kathy and Lee about this on Saturday when we met up in Manchester, and I was like, I'd like to see that type of horror jump scare where it's got like a 10-minute build up. You're expecting the jump scare when you open the cupboard or open the door or whatever they're open, and then it happens about 40 seconds later or 50 seconds later. Do you know where you've sort of the music's not so suspenseful and you think, oh, you've missed it, or you've missed it, and then boom, it's got you. You know, a proper old fashioned jump scare or something like that. You've had a few new people joining the chat since we've started, mate. So I'd just like to say hello to them. It's hi, Cherry. Evening, Peter. Evening, Rich. Hope you're feeling better soon, buddy.
Hello.
So yeah, if you could find the link to Paul's channel, please put it in the chat and give Paul a subscribe and give him a bit of a boost.
Thank you.
I think. What's your sort of views on the action scene then? When you said that you're into your action,
like I like your mainstream blockbuster action movies. I like you know some of the old classics. One like I've got one of my favorites on 4K, which is Hard Target by Kino Lorber. They brought that out 4K. It's like one of the best Van Dammes for me. You know, it's just general. I like a lot of Michael Bay stuff, like action.
Yeah.
I think he's like one of the best still around. Like obviously Jerry Bruckheimer, I think produced. Like he's just one of the most amazing like action producers going. I think when he goes, I think movies will change.
I've got a question for you then. If you're into Jerry Bruckheimer's and you Michael Bay's. Now, it's a long, ongoing discussion on this channel. Now, if you've watched us, you've probably already got an opinion. Face Off or Con Air?
Oh, I watched these probably middle of the year, I think. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with probably Con Air.
And we've just lost Paul off the stream, ladies and gentlemen. He got that question wrong. As we all know, the answer is Face Off.
Face Off.
No, Face Off. Steve prefers Con Air and Face Off. For me, they're sort of like, we don't get movies like that now in the action. No. They're all like super spy films or something like that. No, it's not Amazing Rich. You got the question wrong.
I think like the latest one, like the ambulance, that's probably one of the most modern ones. But I used to like Face Off a lot. Like it was one of my favorite films. But then Nicolas Cage in it gets on my nerves a little bit. I don't know if it's just because it's the like, do you know when he's doing the like the sort of like shouting, the screaming that he does in one of the scenes, it just like grates on me a little bit.
I think in the film, I think Cage found it more difficult to play Travolta than Travolta did Cage. When they swapped over the mannerisms and stuff, I think Cage really struggled with that. But I think that was one of the better parts of the film, and I think that sort of helped make the film a little bit. But I really do enjoy Face Off, and like I said, I enjoy Con Air. I think Con Air is brilliant. John Cusack, Colin Meaney, and obviously John Malkovich. Them being in the film are just superb. But to me, Face Off just edges it.
Yeah, it's like Con Air's like the cast in it's amazing.
Yeah,
even some like the bigger actors like Steve Buscemi, he doesn't have like a really big part, but he plays like a really creepy, like with the way he's sitting down with a little girl and stuff, and it's like,
it's that line, isn't it, where he says the meaning of irony is that we're listening to a song about a band who died in a plane crash as we're stealing a plane and stuff like that, and and it is. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy Con Air, but like I say, Face Off. Other than Face Off and Con Air, what other actions are you into then? Because we'll jump into our featured actor in a minute, who's actually a big action star. So, what other type of action films are out there? You've mentioned Hard Target, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and
The Rock.
Yeah. Now, what's your view on the theory that The Rock is the James Bond film that was never made? That Sean Connery's character is actually James Bond.
I don't know. I've heard like there's a few different takes on it, isn't there? I think it was after a couple of watches and obviously social media and stuff, you start looking into stuff, but I've not really delved into it any further. I know he says a few there's like a few things, isn't there? When he says about being in jail and stuff, but I've not really thought much of it. To be honest, it's just I don't know. Just take it with a pinch of salt. I think. I don't think I don't know. It's a tough one.
You're getting some love in the chat here. People seem to like your opinions.
So you can't go wrong with The Rock. It's another one of them ones that is just like non-stop action. This is just you know, at the end when he tells him like where the stuff is at the when Nicolas Cage is at the end and stuff. I just think that's just all brilliant, and they could have made something else with that, but obviously I think it's just one of them films that should be just left alone. It's like when you're talking about Face Off, there's rumours of them doing another one, isn't there?
Now,
Apparently.
I don't know if there's going to be a Face Off 2 or a reboot of Face Off, because they're talking about both, aren't they?
I would go with a reboot rather than, because John Travolta, he's got no hair now, so
well, I don't know how they can bring Nicolas Cage back for a sequel because they kill him.
Well, so it's film, innit? They can do anything.
Both Castor and Pollock are dead. Yeah. So you can't bring back the Troys. So, you know, Travolta's going to be, 17, retired from the FBI by now or whatever it's going to be. So, you know, I don't know how they could get away with doing a sequel to it unless
be more reboot than like I wouldn't want it though, because I think it should just be like, this is the thing, like with films now, that stuff's just getting reboots every time. I look on social media, there's something getting rebooted.
Yeah. I don't mind the reboots as much. This sort of sequel that we're in now, or sequence that we're in now, where we're getting sequels 30 years, 40 years after the original film. You know, that to me, I think that shows how poor Hollywood are now with ideas. That I know what we'll do. Let's do a sequel to. I was trying to think of a film that we've not had a sequel to from the 80s, that, you know, or 70s, like Robot Jocks, for example. Let's give us a sequel from Robot Jocks 40 years after the original film.
Yeah,
I can't understand that.
It's now, like David Gordon Green. He's going to do The Exorcist now that he's finished up with Halloween. But I think we expect too much from it. It's just like going like ends, Halloween ends. It's people are expecting too much, I think. A lot of backlash with that as well, that film. I don't know. Like The Exorcist, I think he's going to reboot it, and then there's like rumors that he might do another 2, so he might like reboot the whole trilogy. The same with Halloween. I don't know how much of that is true. It probably all goes down on views and money.
Well, we're going to get another Halloween trilogy. There's just yeah, because you know it's just a cash cow for them, isn't it? So we'll get another one of that.
Couple of years down the line, I don't think we'll get one in the next. Possibly 10 years, because if you think about it, like I think the last one, Resurrection, before the 2018 reboot was it 2008?
Something like that, wasn't it?
2007 or 2008, I think. I'm not quite sure, but
there you go. I think Rich has got the line for Face Off 2. Castor's son goes off the rails. Yeah, be like a revenge for killing his dad.
Yeah.
It's
just going to be the same, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just.
Back to the Future. Thank you for joining us, sir. I believe this is your first time in our stream. Is that right?
Tom, it'll be Tom. Yeah, who was on the stream with me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much for popping in, sir. Right, so we'll jump into our first segment. Now, I know that you said you don't like soppy movies, so we won't review the homework film now. We'll wait for little Steve to appear next week. The homework for this week would have been Look Who's Talking. So we'll, unless you want to talk about Look Who's Talking.
I know what it's about, but I think I've only ever seen it once.
Right, okay. In that case, then we'll jump into Featured Actor. Right, so our featured actor this week was Jason Statham. Now, funny enough, Paul said he likes his action films, and Jason seemed to appear on the scene out of nowhere and become one of the biggest action stars out there. watch many of his films, or have you seen many of his films, Paul?
I've seen like a good few. Like he played when he first started off, he just played like small roles. But then obviously now, like when he hit like, he's made some crackers like Crank and Expendables, and
yeah,
you know, the only thing I've not seen is I've not seen his latest one, the one that's on Prime.
Wraith of a Man or something like that, isn't it?
Wrath of Man, yeah, or in Germany it's called Cash Truck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now I've watched that. That's very, very slow.
Yeah, he's meant to be in another one, a Guy Ritchie one coming out with what's his name, Hugh Grant, I think. But it was advertised like 2 years ago, and it got delayed, and it's slated for this year. But I've not seen anything about it.
Yeah,
but yeah, like you say, he just popped out of nowhere, didn't he? He was in Lock, Stock. And I think not long after that, like, had a little scene in Mean Machine, and then he just went big.
Well, he was funny in Mean Machine, wasn't he?
Yeah, the goalkeeper, wasn't he?
Yeah, as the monk. Well, I had to look at his background. Now, he was born in July, the 26th of July, 1967, so that makes him 55. He's from Derbyshire, so he's, is that Northern? Do you class that as Northern?
Yeah,
I think so, don't you? I think so. He's got a net worth of over $90 million. Okay, so someone's put here that he's got great fight scenes. Yes, he has. Rich, he's right, but he's not just an on-screen fighter. He specializes in Wing Chun, Kung Fu, Karate, and kickboxing. So he does quite a lot of martial arts by himself. He was also a Commonwealth high diver in the 1990 games, and the only reason why he left high diving is that because he was struggling to make any money out of it. So he quit high diving and then went into filmmaking, and that's where we got him in like Lock, Stock and stuff like that, didn't we? Yeah. Romeo and Juliet is one of the
yeah.
Don't mention Romeo and Juliet. I still haven't got the security tag out of that case yet. I haven't. No, that's a nightmare. So I bought a copy of Romeo and Juliet out of a charity shop, and it still had the security tab in the case. So it looked like someone had stole it from Asda and then put it into a charity shop when he realised that they couldn't get it out. So I tried to get it out and snap the magnet out of it. So I need to sort of pull it without breaking the disc and get it out there. Yeah, Cherries takes great pleasure in laughing at me for that one. So what's your top 5 Jason Statham films then, Paul? Because I did ask you to have a look at them.
I've like I said, I've not watched a lot of his stuff for some years, but stuff that like is always like kept like in my head where I thought like that was good. The Bank Job, Lock, Stock, not in any particular order. Home Front, which he was really good in that. The Transporter and The Mechanic, for probably my top 5. Like so I was talking earlier about coming on, and someone mentioned The Meg, and I don't like that film.
My mentions, my honourable mentions, will be Mean Machine, Crank, the Expendable series, the 1 to 3.
I think he's one of the best characters in that as well. Expendables.
I was watching a clip of on YouTube. When you go onto YouTube now, well, you know this as well, you get all the shorts pop up, don't you, first, but then you've got to cancel them out. And one of them was the interview with Jason Statham when he was talking about when he drove the lorry off the edge of the dock. It was like, you know, the brakes failed. I wiped out 2 cameramen. I went over the dock. We were drowning, like, and then as he got out the out of the van and swam back up again. His first words were, "Where's Sly?" And Sly was on the dock filming it all, going, "Do you need a towel?" I thought that's just brilliant. Lock, Stock is another mention there.
Yeah.
My top 5, and the last one's going to polarize you with what you've just said there. So the first one will be the Transporter. Now, I like the original one. I think as the sequel sort of went on, the idea got a bit worn because you know what he was. You knew what he was doing. Hobbs and Shaw. So I quite like him in the Fast and the Furious one where we first get him. But then obviously Hobbs and Shaw was more him. You got to see his character a bit more. Snatch. I think Snatch just Lock, Stock in my opinion.
Yeah. That was on my list, but then I removed it and put Homefront because of screen time. He's not got a lot of screen time in Snatch.
But the screen time that he has got, he's sort of like that pinnacle sort of.
The Jones.
Yeah. I agree with you with the mechanic. I love the idea of the mechanic, a hitman training his boss's son that he's just killed to be a hitman, and then the revenge angle. However, my last one is the Meg. Now, I didn't like this when I went to the cinema to see it, but I don't know if it because when we went to see it in the IMAX. So we had sort of poor seats in the IMAX. But the more and more that I watch the film, the more and more I enjoy it. The more and more I just tear my brain off and just watch it.
Maybe I need to. Like, I don't actually own it on 4K, so I know it always goes cheap for about $5.
Yeah.
So I might pick it up next time it's cheap and just watch it again. Maybe I've not, like say, I've probably only watched it once or twice. I vaguely remember what happens, and I know he's coming back for 2, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they've pretty much wrapped it up. I think, haven't they? Filmed it. I think.
So the more and more that I watch it, the more and more I enjoy the film. But then again, it is one of those films that if you don't go into overthink it, and you just switch your brain off and just enjoy it for an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever it is, it's actually quite an enjoyable film. Sharon saying the Meg was good. Yeah, I do enjoy the Meg.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better shark movies that's out there at the minute. Obviously you got Jaws, and I like is it The Shallows?
The Shallow,
yeah, that's a good one. That's really good. And then probably the Meg, like something that like you said, you could probably sit down and enjoy and not probably as opposed to like Sharknado or something like that.
Now, again, Sharknado, the first one was all right, but are we on like Sharknado 6 or 7 now?
I think they're in space now, I think.
Yeah, there's only so much you can see Tara Reid throwing a chainsaw at a shark that's flying or something, isn't it? But like I said, the Transporter, the way that they did the Transporter, and I think the idea of that was really, really good. I enjoyed that first one, but they just kept going back and making sequels.
Yeah.
Hobbs and Shaw, I can see that one just getting dragged out. We'll have Hobbs and Shaw 20, like we've got Fast and the Furious.
I've not seen that. I've not. I don't like the Fast and the Furious franchise. I like 1, and I like Tokyo Drift, but I've not seen any probably after Tokyo Drift. It just got a bit out of hand for me. Like,
now, like Dom Toretto and all that lot of super duper spies, and they're indestructible. They can't die. The series does get a bit silly.
Yeah, when it was just drag racing and stuff like that, it was brilliant, and
it was great
for the cars and stuff, the pink slips and stuff. And now it's just moved into a totally different direction, hasn't it?
Yeah. However, Hobbs and Shaw. Hobbs is obviously one of the agents that are chasing Toretto and his gang. So that's played by Dwayne Johnson. So he's in there. Shaw is the one that was killing the group off. So he killed Han, who's now not dead and back, is he? In the latest one? I haven't seen the last one. So he's in it. So they've now got their own spin-off film where they go off, and the Fast and the Furious lot aren't even in it. So they've sort of gone off that way. So Johnson's trying to make his own sort of movie franchise with Hobbs.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to go back to
and Vin Diesel's carrying on with the Fast and the Furious. So those two are going to go off one way or the other.
Yeah, which is the one with Idris Elba? Is that Hobbs and Shaw?
That's Hobbs and Shaw, yeah.
I'll have to check it out. I'll have to. Yeah, it sounds like you're selling it to me. So yeah.
Now, don't go slating me now on your channel if you don't like it. You know.
I wouldn't do that.
It is a quite entertaining film.
Yeah,
and like I say, you don't really need to know the ins and outs of the relationship from Hobbs and Shaw from the movies. You just see they go off and have it is good fun. It's good fun. So we've got a few more people popping in. Hello, Lack. Thank you for joining us. Neil from Channel Nems popped in. Thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Neil.
So let's have a look what Neil was talking about up here. So we're not ignoring the chat, guys. Sorry. Yeah, Neil saying there he prefers the later Fast and the Furious films. Now, I sort of prefer the earlier ones where it was about the racing and the underworld and stuff. Now it's just got ridiculous. They're pretty much like James Bond films now, aren't they? Where every car's got to have a secret rocket launcher.
Yeah, I think since obviously Paul Walker obviously passed away, I think that's when it just went sort of like downhill a bit because he probably wasn't there because it was him and Vin, wasn't it? Like they worked on the series together, and obviously Vin Diesel is trying to think of ways to keep it going, but yeah.
Michael's saying there he enjoyed Hobbs and Shaw more than he thought he would. Yeah, it was quite a fun. It's quite funny as well seeing the interaction between the two and the one-liners between the two, because they try and outdo each other. So if one's doing something, or if one's beating up one person, the other one goes and beats up three, and it's just funny right the way through. The car in space was ridiculous. Yeah, the funny thing is that they make a joke about that though in the earlier film about what's next. We're going up in space, and then the next film's in space. Yeah, it is a bit mad. Apart from that, what role would you like to see Jason Statham in? Would you like to see him in like Bond or something like that, or do you think he's a bit too rugged for Bond?
Yeah, he would make a good Bond villain, but I can't see him as Bond. A lot of the people who obviously the rumors are going about and stuff, I can't see like Idris Elba. I can't see it. He's too old. He's older than Daniel Craig, I think, and Daniel Craig packed it in because he said his body couldn't take it anymore, the exercise and then the stunts and stuff. But Jason, like I say, did you say he was 50?
55.
55, so he would make a good Bond villain. Just think, like, I like him in like sort of like, I've not seen that The Wrath of Man, but I like him in sort of stuff like that. I think you'd make like just I like to see him, I don't know, some sort of like a detective, sort of like action detective, like I tell you what, like like Denzel Washington, The Equalizer, something like like that sort of style.
The Equalizer mixed with Luther, that type of thing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, just I think he's really good at stuff like that. He's quite a good actor that like builds up to stuff. Where you can always go in guns blazing as well, like Expendables and stuff. But he's also got like good humor as well. Sort of like him and like Tom Hardy are very similar in a way. I know obviously Tom Hardy's not like a big action star and all that, but as big as Statham. But they've got that humor where they can just say something and it's funny.
Yeah,
that British sense of humor. It's not, none of it doesn't seem like Americanized or like, no offense, like to the Americans and stuff, but there's a big gap between their humor and our humor. But yeah, I just think it's when you're watching him, you can always like relate to him and stuff, and you just know that like he's going to do quite a good job in the film. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. I just think he's just. I don't want to like typecast him, as like action, because I think he's
already done that to himself, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I don't think he's done anything other than action since Snatch.
Yeah, really. But I don't know. I don't know what I can see him like. I could just see him in just like action stuff. I hope he's back for the Expendables, the new one. Is it 4?
Expendables 4.
4, yeah. I hope he's back for that.
Well, at the end of each of those films, he always says, or his character says, "This is it for me," and he's back for the next one.
Yeah.
So it's just like, no.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you with the Bond villain bit. I'd like to see Tom Hardy as a Bond.
Yeah.
But since they've sort of opened the doors for Daniel Craig, in Casino Royale, with the opening scenes to that, he's doing a lot of like parkour stuff, and then he headbutts someone. You never see Bond headbutt anyone until you see that, do you? He's a bit more of a gentleman fighter. So I think they've opened the door for someone a bit more sort of like MMA type sort of action. So I'd like to see Tom Hardy in there. Neil saying about Tom Huddleston. Now that goes back to the gentleman spy type of thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's very. He's got that bit of, like, charm about him, hasn't he? Like, like the old, like the old style Bond and stuff, and just. Whereas what you were saying about somebody a bit more rugged and who's more for a fight and stuff rather than using gadgets all the time and stuff, just use your fists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think personally, I think they're going to find somebody who's not well known. Give somebody. There's probably loads of people out there. Give somebody a chance. It's one of the, it's going to be one of the biggest films ever, like the next one, and it's a good chance to give somebody like kickstart the career, because there's plenty of people out there who are wanting,
But Daniel Craig come completely left field, didn't he? No one expected.
Well, yeah, you sort of seen him in Layer Cake a little bit, the whole. Yeah, he was a bit of like Bond in that, and then it was not long after that, wasn't it? He got the first role, but I think like Tom Hiddleston and stuff like that is more like Brosnan style, and just a bit suave and smooth. But Daniel Craig, I think he could play all of that. He could play suave and smooth talking, and he just, I don't know. I can't see Statham as James Bond. No. I like what I would like to see in James Bond. I know it's off topic, but a recurrent like bad guy. Like we had Jaws and stuff for a while. Like he kept returning in a few movies. Somebody like that.
I think in the last Bond film, I know it was sort of bringing his arc to a close, but they killed off. There was 2 very needless deaths in that for the bad guys. The first one was just like, right, you dead, done, and then that sort of set the downfall of Bond. But then the bad guy that Rene Remick played, he was just a throwaway bad guy as well, and I don't think you've got any of that Spectre sort of overlap or overarch that they can bring across. And Jaws makes his cameo in a couple of films and stuff like that, and it would be nice to see something like that. You're right, but it would be nice to see a reoccurring story sort of build up. If you're going to give us a trilogy of films, give us something that actually links together apart from the main character.
Just that dude was in the last one, the Cyclops with the eye. I thought he was quite good. There's somebody like that who just pops up now and then, but it's got to be working sort of for the same person. But rather than because obviously they had the Blofeld stuff, and which was a bit weird for me, but I don't know the direction. I would like them where the bad guy doesn't sort of like get killed or locked up, and maybe make a few films out of that, you know. Or get maybe the bad guy gets his henchmen and stuff, and I like the whole base and stuff, but you know, in like Remy Mount, like the base where he was at with the nuclear missiles and stuff and all that, and that was good. It was like old fashioned, but it just wasn't. It just didn't have that feel, you know, to the old ones. It's like Donald Pleasance, you know, and the scar, and you know, and stuff like that. It's just, I'm not really like I like Bond. I like I've got to be in the mood to watch them, especially the older ones.
Yeah.
I like the Craig ones, and I didn't have anything against the ending of that. It was just something different. They didn't have to do what they did, but it's just one of them things, I think.
No, it was sad, but like you say, it just brought a end to Daniel Craig as Bond. You know, I think when you look at like your Sean Connerys, your Roger Moores, your Pierce Brosnans and stuff, there was no sort of like end to that arc. It was just like, there's the end of that film.
Yeah.
Jump into the next film, new actor, you know. And as much as I appreciate that, if you're gonna give us like Casino Royale right the way through to No Time to Die, there was that sort of underlying sort of spectre type of thing there. But then they kill that story within 5-10 minutes of the film starting. And you're like, okay, sound. What's that all about?
Yeah.
You know,
there was never no, I know what you mean. There was never no like Brosnan, when Brosnan finished, there was no like, where's he gone? You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a new Bond. It's just, I think what is interesting, though, there's rumours of Anna Diarmas doing a spin-off from her character from No Time to Die, because I thought she was brilliant in that. There's something I would like to say, because I think she's just brilliant.
Well, there was talk about her doing a couple, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think she's
007.
Yeah, I think she's meant to be doing some sort of John Wick spin-off as well, I think. Because she's apparently quite good at like martial arts and stuff like that. I don't know how true it is, but
John Wick's another franchise for me that's lost its way. I don't even know what the storyline is for the latest John Wick's film now. You know, it started off with him robbing his car and killing his dog, and about 500 people died because of that. Then in the third one now, he's on the run, isn't he, from the assassins? So I don't even know what the fourth one's going to be about.
It's got a good cast in it. I know that.
Yeah, but they'll all probably die.
Yeah.
They'll die in the first like 30 minutes of the film, and it'll have like 1,000 body counts in that first half an hour. Because that's all it's going into now, isn't it? How many people you can kill in one go.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I really liked. Like obviously Bond-esque sort of thing. The Bournes, I really liked them. I thought they were good, but then they went a bit like off. They just pumped them out a bit too much, you know.
Yeah, when they finished the Supremacy, was it Supremacy? Identity? Yeah, Supremacy was the last one, wasn't it?
Ultimatum, wasn't it?
Ultimatum, sorry. Yeah. When they finished Ultimatum and they finished Jason's story, and then they brought Legacy out, didn't he? Which was more to do with the
Renner, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was more to do with Treadstone and stuff like that. That was just an unnecessary film for me. They brought an end to it. If you're going to bring something out, don't call it Bourne Legacy. Call it Treadstone or something else. Or
they made a series, didn't they? Treadstone series, didn't they? And I don't think that took off either.
No.
First one and the second one I like of the Bournes. The other ones I can tolerate, because obviously I think you've got to watch them all. You're going to watch one and two.
Yeah, Nem saying here, John Wick 4 is an unnecessary sequel. I just don't know, apart from the fact he's going to be on the run again from these people, what the storyline is going to be, because he's killed everybody that meant
I think
anything
it's
to do with the original.
well, I think 4, it's the high table. It's all the members. He goes after the actual high table, with obviously extras thrown in. Like, I don't know what Donnie Yen's playing, what role he's playing in it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's the high table. I'm sure he goes after them. But maybe when they've gone, it's finished. I don't know. You never know, do you?
Yeah, I don't know what
they should have just stuck it with 1 and 2. And I think he just, when you seen him at the end and he goes off on the run, they should have, because that was just a perfect ending.
Yeah.
When the countdown began and Ian McShane's there and he starts walking off, I just thought that was brilliant. And then you should have just left it up to the imagination, you know.
So what happens? Yeah. And I think people go, oh, okay, this one's made X amount of millions. Let's bang out with the next one. And and as you say, before you realise it, you got John Wick 10, and you're like, he's hitting people with his walking frame, and he's like,
I do like them. Like, I'll watch them. Like, I will probably go and see 4 because I just like Keanu Reeves. I think he's brilliant. Like, I think just like the action, you know. I think it's just brilliant. Like, I've seen him put YouTube videos and doing his training and stuff, and it's just the effort he puts in.
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
So we normally do a segment called Pickups of the Week. Okay, so Steve and I will pick something up at a car boot sale or CEX or whatever, and we share it. Have you got any interesting pickups? What you've got this week, or have you got anything that you'd like to show off?
Yeah. I'll just pick them up. Yeah. So
I have to say, I love that rollerball poster.
The rollerball, that's out the collector's edition. What's it?
So I've put you on big screen, mate, so people can see.
All right, thank you. Right. So obviously I'm a big Halloween fan, and I had the first 5 Shout 4Ks, and I picked up the latest 3 imported from America. I've got Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, with the slip box, and H2O, and Resurrection, which is obviously one that I don't talk about much. And something that I've heard everyone talk about is this one. This one is like a holy grail piece to me now. Which I watched it, and it is one of the best 4K transfers ever. That's another import as well. That's not out in the UK on 4K. That's just what I picked up like in the last couple of weeks. Don't really go to CX much because I just think the prices, I've started clocking on what they're doing. I don't know if it's for everything, but say if you go into CX, the price match Amazon. But if you order from Amazon, it's new. CX, it's used. Some stuff I'll buy, but I don't know. I just got mixed things about CX.
CEX have got a lot of new stock as well now, though. But the thing is with CEX is that it's new, but it's not sealed.
Yeah, I think
and that annoys the crap out of me. You know, I might buy a film or whatever else, and it's sealed, and it's been left on my shelf for say 6 months, and then we're going to watch it. And I take it into CEX, and they go to me, right? Can you unseal it for me, please, so we can check the discs in it?
Yeah. But
and then you say, well, it's used now; it's not sealed.
Yeah, I've seen stuff sealed in CEX, like they put it at the back of the counter.
Yeah.
I've seen it in the wrappers and stuff, and like I say, I've took stuff in still sealed, and they open it up, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
wow, it's factory sealed.
Yeah,
you know.
I should have at least watched it once if I knew you're going to do that.
It's because they take the discs and put them into their wallets. That's
Yeah.
the whole reason. But I think if it was something like very collectible, they'll probably accept it. You know, something that's like John from Mondo Chelovic Movies. He's just posted on Instagram of CEX in Newcastle, Return of the Living Dead Blu-ray for £35 in the window.
Pete saying here, CEX are not good at all. £1.95 per item. Yeah. Now I made a mistake once when I was, and I think I put this on the video, of when I was ordering stuff from CEX when they had a voucher, and when I put collect from store, I thought CEX will ship it to one store for me. You know, I was ordering say like 40 films. But no, they don't. You have to go to the store that item was stocked in to collect it. So if a film was in Newcastle, I had to drive from where I live in Aylesbury Port to Newcastle to go and pick up a bloody 50p Blu-ray. Or it's £1.95 postage for a 50p Blu-ray. So you're like, just send it to me.
Well,
or send it to the store for me.
Yeah. Mikey, who is on on my live stream, chat on the WhatsApp, he bought some stuff. I think it was Mikey, it was Tom, it was one of them, bought something from CEX, a few things, got it delivered, and it came in a box, and he still paid that per item. They must have all come from the same store. So why didn't they just make, if it was one box, just one price?
Yeah.
So
if you ordered 6 films from one store, they still charged him £1.95 per film.
Yeah, even though it all came in the same box. Yeah, that's what they must be doing. It's not on like the rogues, but yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm not from Newcastle. No.
So my pickups this week were. So I got a surprise from Kathy and Lee when we went to the meetup on Saturday. Kathy gave this to Lana, the Lost Highway. It's a horror film. Kathy says they don't really do horror films. I've never seen it, never heard of it. So we're going to give this one a try on
David Lynch as well. David Lynch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to give this one a try on Saturday with pizza night. So that's our Saturday entertainment. So thank you, Kathy. Now I heard a big ruckus downstairs one morning, and it was the postman trying to force parcels through the letterbox. Now, I wasn't aware that I was getting anything, so these two surprised me. Valkyrie, I love this film.
Yes, it's an underrated film, that.
Yeah. Now, believe it or not, I never actually had this on Blu-ray. And Machete Kills. Now, I've never seen this. Everyone raves about it, but I've not seen the film. Now, these came through to us from Peter Eblin. It was a surprise parcel. Peter just sent them to me in the post. There was no letter inside, so I didn't know who they were from. So I sent him a very cryptic message. Where do you live? And when he told me where he lived, he was right. So I know they're from Peter. But thank you very much, Pete. Cheers for that. And then my second parcel I didn't know I was getting was from Little Steve. So he sent me a care package. You know, I sent him a care package early on the week. And so he's just returned the favour. So the first Transformers movie. Now, I did say I was never going to get the Michael Bay Transformers films on Blu-ray. And then when I saw a couple of them for 50p and I started picking them up, and this is the one that I couldn't find. Now, I did see this in charity shops all over the country until I actually wanted to buy a copy, and then no one's had one. So little Steve picked that one up for me. And I mentioned last week I've never seen the Snyder cut of the Justice League. So he sent it to me on Blu-ray.
I liked it. It's good.
So,
it's long.
Well, the argument I had was that I'll struggle to find 4 hours to watch one film, right? But just before I come live on last week's show, I watched 3 episodes of Sharp, one after the other, and they were an hour and 40 minutes long. So I could have watched this last week. But yeah, Steve sent it through to me in the post. So thank you, Steve. I've got no excuse now not to watch it. I've got it there, so I will watch it. And
I've only ever seen the first Transformers, and Tom Back to the Future. He was selling some 4Ks, and I said, "Oh, I'll take that off your hands, like the box set." He gives it at a good price, so I've got the box set there, and he also had Bumblebee, which I've never seen, so I'm looking forward to watching them. But I've heard obviously, they're
so
they're not.
I've only got a handful of steelbooks. One is the Ultimate Avengers steelbook because I love the artwork on it, and I love the cartoon movies as well. And the other one was Transformers the movie. Now, I prefer this one over the Bay films.
Yeah.
The first Bay film was brilliant, and then they get silly after that. But then the new Bumblebee, the Bumblebee for, was it 2017? That was amazing. The way that they did all the Cybertron sort of graphics and for a Transformers fan like myself, it was just like, that's the film we should have had.
Yeah.
Just give me a film where they're on Cybertron.
They're rebooting it, aren't they? It's going to be like Animals, I think.
Yeah, Beast Wars, Rise of the Beast. I wasn't a big fan of the Beast Wars cartoons, and I wasn't a big fan of the Netflix take on Beast Wars either recently in Kingdom. But as you can see, I'm a Transformers fan. I love the Transformers. But give me a film that's just on Cybertron.
Transformers wasn't one of my favourites growing up. I watched it now and then. It was more just like Spider-Man and Batman. I used to watch the animated stuff of that. I like them. It just one of those ones that just didn't like. I watched it and I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. But I like the films. Like I like, want to watch. Like I say, I've watched the first Bear one, and I'm interested to see Bumblebee because I've heard loads of people say how good Bumblebee is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
Is it an origin? Is it like a?
No, it's not an origin film. It starts off with them on Cybertron.
It's just his own.
Yeah, he starts off on Cybertron during the war with the Decepticons. Prime sends him off to scout for a new home for them while the war's still going on, and then he ends up on Earth, and then it's supposed to be like the prequel to the first film, so it sort of retcons the beginning of the first film a little bit.
It's a Beetle, isn't he?
Sorry,
he's a Beetle, isn't he?
He's a Beetle, yeah. He's gone back to the Beetle from the 80s cartoons, but it's supposed to retcon the first. Now, throughout the later films, they did like The Last Night and Age of Extinction. They talk about him being there for the Second World War, which isn't the case. He wasn't there and stuff. And Bumblebee sort of changes that a little bit as a film. But it is really enjoyable. I watched Bumblebee not so long ago because I bought it on Blu-ray to go with the set.
I look forward to watching it, yeah.
But yeah, you've got to watch Bumblebee. But when you see the graphics from the Cybertron thing, the opening sequence there, and later on in the film we have another sequence from Cybertron. It's actually really, really good, and it was just give me one of those films. The opening scene of the series, and they're on Cybertron. The opening scene of the '86 movie, they're on Cybertron. just give me a Cybertron movie. It doesn't all have to be based on it.
They've got to do it, haven't they? They've got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did they replace John Paul Ring? A Volkswagen Beetle, not a Scouse Beetle. I don't know. No, they don't kill Prime off. Well, they do, they don't, they do, they don't. It's one of those, Neil. But yeah. But did you see Tam from Tam and Bell Cells on last week?
No.
No. So
I'm slowly, because there's that much, like, I'm trying to go through people's videos, like there's that many people now. Like, I'm adding subscribing people. It was easy at the start, and now it's like I had a routine where I come in from work and I would spend an hour watching YouTube and stuff. But now, obviously, things have changed with my little son, and obviously my bigger son comes in at 3:00, and it's just all like, the only time now pretty much I get is like I sleep in the back room some nights and I'll stick YouTube on and watch it in bed. But more stuff like live streams.
Yeah.
It's very rare I will watch it like live, but I always try to watch them on demand. But I'm going back just like not months, but so far, because obviously you start to like lose. Like, you could be talking about something completely different at the start of the year, you know what I mean, compared to now. So I've watched a few, but it's queued.
So Tam and Bell, they do reselling, so that we've sort of got like a foot in the reselling world. That's where we sort of started off through one of our friends on YouTube, Cookie and Hayden's. So Tam and Bell were at a boot sale, and one of the sellers there said to him, "Come and have a look at the box of stuff I've got in the boot." And when he opened it up, it was all these Transformers. So he's got like 6 Optimus Primes and 4 bloody Infernos and 2 hot shots, and I'm like, it's just annoying. And then to make it worse, he paid 26 quid for the whole lot, and I was like, "You're taking the piss." Pardon the language, but like, you're taking the piss. And I was like, God, just give me them. Just give me them, because I've got a couple of primes. I've got a couple of primes down here, but he's got some near mint ones. And I was like, I want them.
Like some of the original ones.
Yeah, the 80s ones. So I was like G1s, and I was like, I'll buy them off you. I'll tell me what you want for them. I'll send you these. But yeah, and then he did a video the other day where we were sorting through it, and you actually saw what he got, and I was just like, yeah, I'm still jealous. Although I've got all of these, and I've got some really rare G1s and stuff like that. But there is a couple there, like the tracks. I like the tracks. The Inferno that he's got. He's got 3 Infernos there, and one of them looks practically new. And I would take that one off him. And the Hoist and Grapple, those 2 are just brilliant. And yeah, the little get. But to make it worse, he only paid 26 quid for them.
That's the thing with car boot sales, isn't it? Like, you can go and not see anything, and then you can only take one day, and you'll go, and it's just the holy grail. As well, some people are unaware, and they'll just like you say, "Oh, I'll give you £26 for it," and it's just, the fellow who was obviously selling them didn't have a clue. He just thought, well, probably my son's toys. Let's get rid of them.
Just get rid, yeah. I don't know. I was really jealous, but I just released a Transformers video the same day of what I picked up, and then Tam released his, and then little Steve sent me a screenshot and said, "Are you two talking to each other in the background there? Because we both sent the same things off." And I was like, no, because mine was scheduled for a few weeks, and I was just like, Christ, I can't believe that. There's me showing what I've picked up in charity shops and stuff, and then he's gonna pick them up.
Well, I'm always in charity shops and stuff with the wife and all that, looking for clothes and stuff, like because we have a 6-month-old. So rather than buy new stuff, we just go to charity shops because they're not in it long. And I'm always off drifting, looking at all the see what I can find. See if I can find any 4Ks. I've not found any yet.
So what's your like holy grail that you're looking for? That you mentioned your 4K film before it was the holy grail. So what's your holy grail when you're in a charity shop? What you're keeping your eye out for?
Just 4K, any 4K, because they're so pricey, and you see a lot of people down south picking them up in charity shops and the other end of the country. There's not much up here. I don't know how they end up in charity shops. Because like you say, you could go to CX or eBay and put it on eBay and you could get a bit of money for it. There's nothing as a holy grail probably would end up in a charity shop, but just someone.
What would you like then? Not necessarily from a charity shop. What would be the one piece for your collection or something like that you would love to have?
Top of my head. Any like Arrow box sets. You know, like the box sets that they pump out. Someone on Twitter yesterday posted that he got the now out of print Assault on Precinct 13 Second Sight box set. Found it in a charity shop for £5.
Christ.
Goes for about £50-60 on eBay. Like I buy them, but I don't sell them. I'm buying them to collect and keep and watch. Probably like when my son hits a decent age, we can sit down, you know, weekends and stuff and watch them. Because he's been watching a lot of PG stuff at the minute. I won't let him watch 12 because he turns 4 in December, but he's been watching like Hook and Jumanji and stuff like that, you know, and he's enjoying it. So starting him
off for the greats.
Yeah, he's addicted to the Minions at the minute. It's Minions. I've got them off Tom. He was selling them, so I'm going to give him 2. His birthday is 2 weeks before Christmas, so I'll give him 2 for Christmas and 2 for his birthday. 2 for his birthday and 2 for Christmas.
So just for those in the chat there now, we're talking about your family. How did you sell the paint color to your wife?
I just was on Facebook and seeing because it wasn't a video, was it? It was
the short. Yeah. So, ladies and gents, the short we're referring to. Do you remember a couple of months ago when I put out? I didn't know if I was going to be offended or not, and it was the Hulk picture of him being on the toilet with the Anger Management for Dummies book. Paul went through our back catalogue of videos and he found that short.
It just appeared. It just appeared. I don't know how old it was, but it appeared on like my page. I don't know if it was just what do they call it when it refreshes or something? Or I didn't like
a suggested video or something.
Yeah, it wasn't even on your page. It was just on the feed, and I clicked on it, and I was just like, and it was a good shot. And then I did say to the wife before I seen that, like I was going to decorate the downstairs loo, and I was like, "Whoa, you know what? I'd actually like to sit in there. It looks nice."
So Paul's watched my video and then sent me a Facebook Messenger post saying, "This might sound funny, but in your video with the Hulk, what colour's the paint on the walls?" So it's like, And then I get a video later that day that he's painted his bathroom that same colour.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. So we're not only just giving you movie advice and movie news on this channel, ladies and gents. If you want any home decor advice, please drop us a note and we'll get Lana to tell you what colours she paints everything. I don't know. Lana was like, "Oh, that goes really well with that wallpaper, though. You've got like the leafy wallpaper, haven't you?" And she was like, "That goes really well." Good evening, Lainey. Thank you for joining us. Hope you are well. Right, I'm going to put the link in the chat, Paul, and we'll see if we can get somebody else on and give us a break for a bit. So there we go, ladies and gents. There's the link in the chat. Feel free to come on, tell us what you've been watching, what you've enjoyed, what you've picked up this week. Have you watched anything good on Netflix or streaming sites this week, Paul?
Yeah, I watch film a night, apart from tonight because I'm on here. But I've been watching a lot of like. I'm not doing like the 31 Days of Horror, but I tend to watch like a lot of in autumn, like a lot of horrors and stuff like that. You know, I just find it comforting. But
okay,
it's just just find them. Just I don't know. It's just weird. I am weird.
The last film I watched on Netflix was Sleepers. Kevin Bacon and Robert De Niro. About the young boys that go to the juvie prison. And that was the last one I watched. I really enjoy that film. It's a bit dark, a bit sort of wrong, but good in a sense. Yeah. I do enjoy that film.
I've recently resubbed back to Netflix, and Netflix I've been watching. I like crime documentaries and stuff, so I've been watching Keep Sweet, Pray and Obey. That was very dark. That was about some like the Latter-day Saints church.
Yeah.
This cult fella was marrying. He had 73 wives or something in the end, and he was money laundering and he was doing all sorts. And so that was a bit. A couple of other ones. I've just watched The Vatican Girl, which was on there. Unsolved Mysteries. I like watching them. And then film-wise, last night I watched for the first time Night of the Creeps. I watched that for the first time. Watched the Halloweens. Went to see Ends last Saturday. Yeah, just been watching Rings of Power as well on Amazon. Finished that, but I'm going to watch it again because I really enjoyed it.
Is that any good? I've waited for the series sort of to play out.
They've changed stuff around, but it's Lord of the Rings and it's something a bit fresh. I love the movies. I've just literally finished watching. I spent 3 weekends watching the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings. I'll probably start The Hobbits again soon. And then I've been watching Rings of Power, which I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Definitely worth the watch. I don't have Sky, so I can't watch House of Dragon. Nothing like that. I know that's quite big at the minute.
Just watch it on here. You get it by other means and stream it.
I don't know how to do none of that though. That's the thing. I've never. If I watch something, I'll rent it. I'll pay for it and rent it. I don't know.
Peter's saying there that seeing the RoboCop picture in the background, did you know the suit was too bulky to fit in the car? Did you know the suit was like 55 kilos?
It was heavy.
It was heavy. Heavy. That's why.
It took so long to get into it, didn't it? Yeah.
It was between 55 to 60 kilos, and depending on what scene that they were filming in the first movie, the suit changed weight. Good evening, Lainey. How are you?
Hello. I'm all right. Just lost my voice for a second there, but yeah, fine. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I'm sensing a fellow northeastern person up there from Park's accent.
County Durham.
Ah, cool. Well, I'm from Sunderland.
I'm a Sunderland supporter.
That's good. That's good. You passed. There you go. Sorted.
A Sunderland supporter that prefers Connor. You're not doing very well on this, are you, Paul? Did you watch Laney's quiz the other week, Paul? Have you got to that stage where you were watching the quiz show?
No, I've not. No.
So Laney's our resident quiz master, aren't you, Laney?
I know. I've seen the picture for it on the. Wasn't the last one? Was it? Was it the one before that?
Monday Madness. It was. Yeah. So it was Monday just gone.
Yeah.
So Laney's our resident quiz master. So if you wanna try and put your movie knowledge to the test, go and do one of Laney's quizzes.
I will, yeah. I like a good quiz. So yeah, I'll definitely do that.
So how's your charity events going, Laney?
All right. I haven't done I need to do a bit more promotion, I think. It's just not as good as years gone past, but I think it's this year is not great, with all the cost of living and all of that sort of thing. Plus, it normally gets a bit more nearer the end as well. So it's not this weekend. Next, not this weekend.
Yeah. It's next weekend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't panic me thinking it's this weekend. I was like,
no, weekend.
So we're on Saturday at 6 o'clock, aren't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Saturday at 6. Okay.
I need to think of, I didn't know. I was going to, because normally I do a quiz at some point, but I haven't sorted anything out as yet. But I may have to do something. But I was going to do I think I said it to you before, one at 5-second rule thing where you've got I guess 5 seconds to think, basically, which then everyone goes in panic. And by the time you go, then your time's up. So
I told you my quiz partner's going to be Andrew.
Yeah, but he was really bad at it. I put him to the test, didn't I? And I says, name 5 Tom Hanks films, and he went, that one, Big, and that was after the time had run out, so that didn't really work.
Yeah, no. I think between the two of us, we know that much useless shit. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I need to organise something because I haven't really. So at the minute, I've just kind of put it to the back burner just in case, I can't get it sorted. But I'll probably do something.
I did know that, Neil, that RoboCop. It was that Halloween Havoc that they were in the pay-per-view. But he took about 5 steps, didn't he? And the bloke nearly fainted, so they walked him off back to the stage. Yeah. It was the suit was too heavy. It couldn't get into the ring or nothing. So he literally just walked down, turned around, and walked back again.
Doing the robot.
Yeah. Sharon says that she loves your pop quizzes.
Oh, thanks, Sharon. She can come again.
So what have you been watching this week, Lainey?
House of Dragon, which is annoying me still a bit, but I need to watch it. I don't know why. It's annoying me in the jump. They have massive jumps between, and then they change some of the characters by using different people, supposedly them older, but then they don't do all the characters. So I don't know if you've watched it.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean then by,
I wouldn't mind if the two characters, the princess and the new queen, if they even look like the actresses that
exactly, which is giving them the same colour hair.
So obviously the princess is meant to be 13 in the first couple of episodes, and then she jumps to 21 or 22 in
which in the first couple of episodes she looks more 16 to 18 anyway, and then
the actress is actually 22.
Yeah.
So she just make her look a little bit older. and you would have got to where she was.
But then I think what would have been better is to do that whole explanation with the younger characters. If they were going to do that, do it in the first one or two, and then change them. If they were going to change them, not leave it till like, what was it, episode 7 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where you've become used to the characters, you notice the difference, but then leave, like Sir Christopher, for instance, what does he not age like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sort of bugged me a little bit. But in other news, I'm loving She-Hulk now. It struggled with it at first, which I said to you, didn't I?
Yeah.
But I stuck with it, and I really like it now. I like the way it's done. I like the sort of argument she has with Marvel, if that makes sense. And yeah.
Well, that was the last in the series, wasn't it? Just gone. I'm going to put that on the bottom here because we have got a habit of talking about stuff and ruining series for people.
You mean you have?
The collective we.
Oh yeah, just blame everybody.
Yeah, it's everyone's fault so we were in the pub on Saturday at the meetup, and Lee was talking about the Caffee's League, Cherry's mum and dad, Caffeine. They were talking about the amount of time that I talk about Marvel and stuff like that, going on a tangent. And so I don't actually start these conversations about Marvel. It's not me. I just get brought into it. So yeah, there you go. So there's a prime example.
Yeah, well, I was
started the She-Hulk conversations, not me.
Yeah.
What did you think of the last episode?
I liked it. I liked the fact of, it was predictable, you know what I mean? Bring them all in, that sort of thing. And then obviously Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to say too much, do you know what I mean? Try not to do with Steve. But yeah, I liked it.
Have you seen She-Hulk, Paul?
I think I've seen 4 episodes.
Right. Okay.
I'll probably watch, if it's finished now, I'll probably catch up. That's what I do. Like, I've not watched any Andor yet, so I'm waiting for it to finish. I don't know if it has yet, but
I haven't watched any of the Andor stuff.
I've heard it's really good. Like, I like Rogue One, so it's one of my favourites.
It's more down the route of the Mandalorian than
that's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
So, it is on my list to watch. It is something that I am planning to watch. So
the thing with the She-Hulk episodes, that they don't seem long enough.
The 24 minutes, aren't they?
Yeah, when you watch them, I always think like there could be a bit more.
Yeah. And
it just ends. That's the only downside, but it is very slow starting. But how else are you to make something like that? You know what I mean? You got to start somewhere. So
I think I've said it a few times on the channel. It'll be nice to have just She-Hulk as a character in an episode. She doesn't need the support from like Abomination or Hulk or someone like that all the time. Just let her go off and do her own thing.
Yeah.
If we do get a season 2, or I hope she's just not going to be a cameo in Daredevil now. Because all the way through She-Hulk, they've been dropping hints about Daredevil. Then you do see him. That's not a spoiler. That's right from the off. They're already talking about the other hero. That's a lawyer. Right from the off, you know who that is. Mm-hmm. So I just hope they don't bring it back as a cameo. They are obviously setting up. You've seen it where Hulk goes off into space, yeah?
Me?
Paul? Yeah.
No.
All right. So that must be the next episode then. Sorry. It's on the bottom.
You know what? I don't freak out over spoilers.
Yeah. So
I've seen pictures before, like floating about of his new suit and stuff. So they are setting up a film.
where World War Hulk are setting
Oh,
that up.
yeah. I've heard rumors of it. Yeah,
because they've introduced Scar now at the end of the series. So, yeah,
that's good.
it is going to be an interesting one. But they still don't own the rights to Hulk.
No, is it Sony who owns
Sony
that?
own the rights to Hulk.
Same as Spider-Man, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it won't come on to Disney Plus then.
Whatever they're doing with them won't.
Well, they eventually do, don't they? Because the Spider-Mans have, well, some of them have come on Disney Plus.
Yeah, the ones that have got major links to the other ones have done, but the likes of like Homecoming, I don't think Homecoming's on there, is it?
I think just the Tobey Maguire and the Andrew Garfield ones are on there.
Yeah.
It's about time Hulk got his own film again, because I like the older ones. I like Edward Norton. He played.
Yeah, he was in the Incredible Hulk, wasn't he? When Eric Bana was just Hulk.
Yeah. But I like Mark Ruffalo. I think he's brilliant as the Hulk. But the thing with the She-Hulk is, the whole CGI.
Yeah.
It does look a lot different to when he is the Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because of her hair or what. There's just something not right.
She seems to be a lot brighter green.
Yeah, it's just the movement. Whereas the Hulk, I don't know if it's just all pure, like, sort of, well, it's all CGI, but there's just something not right about when she walks and moves and this. But when you see the Hulk, like in the films and stuff, it just looks normal. You know what I mean? There's just something not right about it.
Do you think it's because it's a man that is doing it?
I think they've just got a better 3D render of the Hulk, haven't they?
It's like, that thing that they put on that sort of
the spot
movement suit thing, but because of the height reasons.
But have you seen the woman that plays the actual on-screen Hulk? The woman when She-Hulk's on there, the woman's about 6'4". So everyone's looking up at this woman in real life, and then they put the CGI model over her. So I just think they've got a better CGI model, a better render of the Hulk from the films, and that's what they're using compared to one that they've built for the series.
I read that it was a guy who was actually doing the movement part, like using that sort of, well, I don't know what it's called. When they put the dots on
the motion, the motion stuff.
Yeah, and it was
they had a cast photo, and it's the one that was in the suit was a woman, and she's about 6'4". She's built like the Hulk, built like She-Hulk, and they've literally just rendered around there.
Wasn't that Gina? I think it's meant to be it. She got dropped, didn't she? That Gina what's her name? Canaro or something?
Yeah.
Who was in Mandalorian. I'm sure she was meant to play both parts, because obviously she's quite big and she's quite muscular. But I just don't know why they just didn't use, again, an actor. I don't know.
Do you think as well that Jen doesn't look like Bruce looks like Bruce as the Hulk still, whereas I don't think Jen does.
No, she doesn't know. And the whole, I don't know, it's just something about like the hair, and I don't know, there's just something not right. I don't have anything against it, but
no, I know what you mean.
If they're going to do like more, or they're going to bring her into the movie, if they do the movie, which is probably looking like it, I don't know. They need to just, I don't know, is it because of a series? Have they not got the same budget as the film.
Possible.
I don't know, but they need to work on that a bit because it just doesn't look right. But the suit, when she's in the suit doesn't match the body, if you know what I mean. It looks.
It feels a bit more cartoonish.
Yeah.
Than Bruce does.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they fix that. If we do get a season 2, or we do get like some more cameos and stuff like that, I hope they do throw a bit more money at making her look more hulky.
Mm.
Yeah,
know?
she isn't like the whole.
I'm not saying she's got to be built like a Russian bodybuilder or anything like that. But
yeah,
she doesn't look very. She looks more Jolly Green Giant than Hulk.
Yeah.
Remember the Jolly Green Giant from the adverts? That's what she looks more.
Is it? Do you think because the Hulk, he was made like that, whereas she was obviously, I don't know.
But the Hulk was never. He was just radioactive. He was just radioactive poisoning, wasn't he? Gamma ray poisoning.
Mm.
Yeah, you would think.
That's just his persona, wasn't he? Where Jen was just she got infected by blood, so she should really have the same sort of effect. But she doesn't seem to have. You're right. They're just something's just not right with the render for She-Hulk.
Yeah, you would think they would should be the same, like the same build and same size.
Mm.
But is it? I don't know. Is it because she's younger
or a bit more hulky features?
Yeah.
You know, Lainey will know what I'm talking about. In that last episode the episode before it is the last episode, isn't it? Where they give you like the Incredible Hulk opening from the original series.
Mm-hmm.
She looks better there than she does actually in the series.
Yeah.
So hopefully we will get a better one, and hopefully Kevin does spend a bit of money and make it right.
Yes.
I think the only other one I can think of, like even like in the films and stuff, like Thanos, he just looked normal, and try to think, is there any more?
Well, Thanos' CGI improved with each film, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I think like Endgame, it was top notch, wasn't it? It was just. But I don't know if it's because it's a show, and obviously it's the first of the series. They've not put in a lot of. I don't know how much it cost to make, but it's just. I don't know. It's just it should be better. You know what I mean? Like they've been doing really good, haven't they, with the series and stuff, and.
Yeah.
But Disney have been pumping out and stuff, and it just still doesn't seem right every time she changes into her. I'm just like,
because I feel like she doesn't look like she should be there. Like she looks like she's being placed there, you know, like photoshopped in or something, which doesn't look right. Whereas like the background doesn't work for her.
Yeah,
the color green looks wrong, and they try to use a different one to I can't say the word differentiate to show the difference that work between them.
But her clothes don't rip either.
Yeah, but also because she's supposed to have that material, isn't she? But that wouldn't work.
I don't think he's got that far in yet where he's met the new costume.
No, sorry. It doesn't.
See, channel, it's not me spoiling it this week.
Nobody said he was about 4 episodes in, and I thought that was.
No,
I can't remember. I've seen. Is it the twerking one? I've seen that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it'll be the next one then, where she gets to see.
Oh, right. Well, apologies for that.
That's all right.
But yeah, it's not quite right. And to me, if she's a She-Hulk, yes, she has the power, but she doesn't look like she has the power to do what she does. So you would expect her to look a bit more like muscly,
Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what I
it's
mean?
because she's tall, whereas
Mm,
like Mark Ruffalo, he's quite short and stocky, isn't he?
yeah.
So obviously he, it's I don't know.
But
I don't
when
know
you
if
see
it's
them
because of
both,
that.
when you see them both together, though, they
They
the
look
same
totally
You're
different.
small. Is she still smaller?
Hulk's roughly the same height as She-Hulk
Yeah.
when they're together on the beach and the training and stuff like that.
I don't think she needs necessarily as much muscle as he has. You know what I mean? But I do think she needs a bit more to look more like a Hulk, essentially.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I tell
But
you, I started watching that The Time Traveler's Wife. I
all
watched
right.
the first episode. It was very all over the place,
Hmm.
which I suppose time travel is. But like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. It's kind of like, I have seen the film, so it makes sense to the film still, I guess. But yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, Jilly saying never underestimate the power of a She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I say, I just feel that I'm all Disney comicked out at the moment.
Hmm.
There is loads of it, and I haven't seen. Sharon asked me if I seen Black Adam yet, and no, I haven't. I've not seen it. It is on my watch list. However, I do understand that there is a certain returning superhero at the end credits, which makes me a bit giddy because I am hoping that we do get Henry Cavill back as Superman.
Right. I think I seen something saying that it's already happening. I think.
Yeah, because
So,
he has says he will do one, and if the story's good and stuff like that. So hopefully with him appearing, because he appears in Shazam at the end of Shazam as well.
Yeah, but you don't see his face.
You don't see his face, so
Yeah.
it's in though, and and now he's in Black Adam. So
so Black
he's
Adam's a
still there.
DC thing because I haven't. I know it's The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson because he doesn't really use The Rock these days. But it's part of the DC world.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
yes,
part of like
DC universe.
yeah. It's like the whole like Shazam, isn't it? It's the
Yeah,
same.
I liked Shazam. Thought that was
Yeah.
good.
The Rock doesn't like it, does he? Because he wanted Black Adam to come out first, I think. And they brought Shazam out, and that's sort of like it is a good film. I'm looking forward to number 2 because I'm hoping that has something to do with Black Adam as well.
Mm.
But it just, yeah, I read something he didn't like Shazam or something because they brought that out first before Black Adam.
Now, The Rock's he was lobbying for Black Adam for almost a decade, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Because he was saying it's a character that he really loved growing up. He's a darker skinned character. He's got a cool looking costume, etc. And then obviously Shazam came out first, and they had to do the origin story for Shazam, and then Black Adam. But Black Adam was delayed, wasn't it? It was delayed in publication for a while as it was going through certain things, and Shazam just overtook it. So I think somewhere Black Adam was meant to come out before that.
Mm.
I think Shazam 2 was meant to come out again before Black Adam. I think because that's been pushed back.
They pushed back to December, didn't
Yeah,
it? Shazam 2 got pushed back, and then Black Adam got brought forward.
yeah.
So maybe someone in DC's finally getting their act together and thinking, Warner Brothers are getting their act together and thinking, we need to fix this.
Yeah,
Whatever's going on now, we need to fix it.
It's got to be Superman 2, hasn't it? It's got tight. I just hope it's got. I know he's probably not going to be involved, but I hope it's got some Snyder elements to it and some connections. And no one's just going to come in and start afresh because it'll undo everything that he's done. because it's still part of like his
But
universe.
they're not getting rid of Ezra Miller as Flash. He's staying as Flash. You know, they've kept Amber Heard as thingy. Marie, they're in.
They did reduce her amount on screen, though, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, but they're keeping her as the character. So there is still that Snyderverse cast there.
Yeah, because Aquaman 2 still to come out as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, Laney's boyfriend, Jason Momoa, is still Aquaman.
Obviously.
Yeah,
He
he's still Aquaman. Night, Pete.
He's still
I'll catch you on Saturday if you're coming online, mate. We need all 6 of us for Saturday.
He's still folded enough in the other room.
Is
My big cutout of him that I got for my birthday.
what have you done to Aquaman that you folded him in half?
Why not?
You threw me all off my train of thought there now, lady. Ben Affleck. The situation that bothers me is the Batman Joker situation, because technically now we've still got Affleck as Batman. We've got Gerard Leto as Affleck's Batman. We've now got another Joker, as in Joaquin Phoenix. He's playing Joker for the second time. And now we've got the Joker from the Batman, Robert Pattinson's Joker.
They're just totally different though. Them Matt Reeves' stuff's going to be no connection to the Snyder DC stuff. Nor is Todd Phillips Joker.
But it just makes no sense to me how you've got 3 different versions of the Joker running around. You've got 2 Batman, 3 with Michael Keaton saying he's coming back in Flash. You know,
Well,
it did make me laugh when they were talking about Aquaman 2. Are they going to cancel Aquaman 2 and stuff like that? And he went, "Was I in that film?" He just doesn't know which film he's in because they're all up in the air, aren't they? Oh, it was Batwoman, wasn't it? Batgirl they cancelled, and he said, "Was I in that one?" And that's what he was like, "I don't know which DC film I've filmed scenes for now."
It's just a job to them, isn't it?
Yeah,
they don't pay attention to it. They just, the money's right, they'll do it. But I think what was I going to say? Affleck sees, because he wasn't going to return, and then they've had to change something in the Flash, haven't they?
Yeah.
So they keep him on.
Well, they changed. Was it Michael Keaton to Ben Affleck? They changed a couple of the scenes there, didn't they?
Because it was all part of the verse, wasn't it? The whole Flash when he's running around and in the
the Flashpoint.
Yeah.
So it is going to be interesting what they do, and hopefully Warner do get themselves sorted out and make this all right again.
But they got rid of that fella, haven't they? That one of the big cheeses he left, didn't he? There was
a couple from Warner Brothers that left, didn't they? Chief executive. It was the same at Sony. They've changed some of the Sony executives around because of what's happened with the Sony Entertainment stuff. So I just hope Disney don't just end up buying everything. You know,
they need somebody like Kevin Feige, don't they? But I think he's doing a bit too much, isn't he? Because he's doing series and
he's doing series, films, and he's jumping over to Star Wars as well, isn't he? Which is
that's why a lot of people are saying the whole thing with She-Hulk and all that. And is he doing too much? Is he not overseeing what he should be? And
Well, they do make a joke of that in the last episode of She-Hulk.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we're referring to Kevin.
Oh, right.
So they do make a joke of that late in the series that they all see in Kevin. and you get to see it. It's quite funny what they've done, but yeah, it's just the same as anything else now, isn't it? They just pumping. These series are going out, and people are spending money on subscriptions and stuff like that. But don't get me started on the subscriptions things now, because there's too many subscription channels out there that you to watch stuff on, and that's why people find it via other means.
Yeah, I look forward to 2025 when we get HBO Max. I think that's the big one. But even if like we've got to wait that long, because obviously they've got a thing with Sky, haven't they?
Well, that's if it's still gonna be there in 2025. What was the last thing that they put out on HBO Max?
Halloween, wasn't it? No, that was Peacock, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Because it started off all well and good, HBO Max, but I haven't seen anything getting pushed directly to HBO Max in a while.
No, it was because of COVID, wasn't it? They were putting stuff out, wasn't it? But it's going to be one of them things, isn't it? It's going to come here, and because of licensing, we're still not going to get. It's like happening now. It's like Peacock. Was it Peacock or Hulu?
Hulu.
The Orphan,
yeah,
the new Orphan one that came out to streaming in America, but came to cinemas and physical release over here because of licensing. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like this Barbarian that's going to be coming out. That's coming out cinema here, but it's already out digital in America, I think.
Yeah.
And still with like such things like Everything Everywhere all at Once. That's not out on physical here yet. It's just a bit challenging, you know what I mean? You've got to avoid, if you don't want to see it, you've got to avoid loads of stuff on social media. And
well, the only thing is that you have got it via other means, and people are reviewing it, and this is what annoys me about the arena that we're in, because people have already got spoiler reviews of films that haven't even been released yet.
Yeah.
Over here, and you're like, right, okay, so I can watch your channel, and it was just like I can click a video and it's like, oh, that looks really good. How have you got that? 'Cause it's only out on Saturday, but you've ruined it for me.
Yeah.
You know, and
there's a few.
I know what the chat are going to say. It's rich for me saying that someone's ruined something for me after that, but it's just the world that we're in at the moment that. You know, I think Top Gun Maverick was on here by other means before it was released in the cinema, and that got a global release at the same time. So they are out there. But
I think that's what they need to work on. They just need to work on, if they're going to release something in the US. It's like stuff's already out now on physical. It seems to like. Takes about 3 months here. In America, it's something daft like a month to 2 months.
That's what gets on little Steve's nerves.
Yeah, as soon as
he talks about stuff that, you know, America have got this and America have got that, and if I want that, I've got to do that. But then it might be 6 months before it comes out over here, or it might be not out on Blu-ray or 4K. We might just be getting like a DVD release, or you know, they're not pushing the higher end stuff.
It's money in it at the end of the day, money.
Yeah. Right, what I'm going to do then, Paul and Lainey, is that I'm going to run the wheel for next week. Okay, so we're going to keep hold of Look Who's Talking for when Steve gets back, but we are going to do the wheels. And if you bear me 2 seconds.
Anyway?
Sorry?
Where is he? Not that I haven't just noticed, because I had noticed, but I'm just wondering where he was.
Something popped up just before we went live, so he's sorting that out.
No problem.
Right, so I did a bit of a survey and work about films that people would like to watch and stuff like that. So I've took the best of them and then I've put them on the wheel. I've also put on eight-legged freaks and arachnophobia, which was requested last week after our conversation about spiders and stuff. So the same goes, ladies and gents, at the end of this video when it goes live on YouTube. Please leave a comment if you'd like to add a film to the wheel, or an actor or whatever, and we'll get it added in for you for next week's show. So here we go. There we go. National Lampoon's Animal House. Now, that was one of the new ones that got added this week.
Is that Chevy Chase?
Yeah.
Because I have watched some National Lampoons.
Not Animal House.
Oh, not Animal House. No, sorry.
No.
That's is it James Belushi? Is it?
John? Yeah.
John Belushi.
John Belushi. Yeah.
All right.
It's the vacation ones at a Chevy Chase.
Yeah, vacations.
Okay, so let's jump on to the actor's wheel. So we'll open that one up now. Okay, are we ready? Oh, yeah. Sandra Bullock. I'm going to enjoy next week's show. Not that I don't enjoy our shows, by the way.
Yeah, every week.
So there you go, Sandra Bullock and Animal House. So that should be a good show. I'll have to check my calendar as well because I think we've got Video Tasties coming on next week as well. So yeah, it's going to be an action-packed show next week. Paul, thank you very much for joining us this week. We'll get you back on when little Steve can make it as well, because I think he'll really enjoy talking to you about your physical media collection.
Yeah.
As you can see behind me, I am all toys and figures, and Steve is the physical media man. So he'll have a good old conversation with you. Lainey, it was always a pleasure to see you, my dear. You're welcome anytime, as you know.
Thank you.
Ladies and gents, as you can see, we no longer stream to Facebook. So the only place that you're going to be able to see us now is on YouTube. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you get to know when we're coming on and whatever else, so you don't miss any videos. If you haven't already subscribed to Paul, please go and show him some love on his channel as well.
Thank you.
He's got some great content, some great videos out there. And we are all subscribed to you, Lainey, as you know.
Of course.
If you're new to the channel because you're watching Paul as well, please do go and check out Big Girls Really Do Cry.
Thank you.
You do some great content on there. Have you got any more Banish bins coming up?
No, because I kind of ended it where I did the banishment, didn't I, last time. However, I think if in the future when I get to know more people, maybe I'll bring it back. You know, just like it's like miniatures till I get a few. Because I know there's a couple that still wanted to do it. So once I get enough to like maybe do say 10 or something like that, I'll probably bring it back.
Yeah. Maybe some of our new channel friends might be able to come on and do that. That might be interesting. Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for joining us and coming on. Like I say, ladies and gents, please like the video. If you want any, or if you've got any film suggestions for me or anything you want me to review or anything like that, please leave a comment once the channel.
Neil's got a request from you there. Look.
Howdy, lads.
How are you? How are the lads?
No, I can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
I can't throw your voice like that. Howie the lads.
Howie.
It
Howie.
just sounds like you say Howie. Howie the lads.
Away the lads.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you're picking on me now for being from this part of the country. I think you're being rude.
So I do.
Yeah, so like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you've got any suggestions or anything that you want added on, please do it once the video's gone live over onto YouTube, and I'll pick it up from there. So I'm going to say bye from myself and little Steve. Like I say, unfortunately, he's not been able to join us this evening, but he will be here next week. Paul, thank you very much. Lainey, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for meeting, Lainey.
And you.
that note, Paul, if you stay on once the end credits go on, we'll have a chat afterwards. Right, see you in a bit,
Thank you very
guys.
much.
See you on the next one. Bye bye.